Uh, Good evening, everyone. I'm Satish here from Pragyan AI. So, to continue the session, bootcamp, today is the seventh day. So, in the last sessions, we covered what is meant by list and some kind of operations or methods or functions available on the list. So, we know how to create a list, how to access this list, and what kind of functions we can write using the list. So, we discussed that. One more advanced concept which was left in the last session we will be covering now. So that is called list comprehension. So we know how to create a list, correct? But now instead of using list creation, that there is a multiple ways of creating list. No? So normal way of creating list comprehension is actually another way of creating a list. The way we are creating list is actually like using certain kind of an expressions, certain kind of expressions. We are creating expressions or some certain kind of a loop. Using that, I am trying to create a list elements. So instead of manually writing, adding the values, so I'm creating the list. So if I'm not using list compressions, I would have used something normal. So I would have created a empty list, and then I have in the for loop I will be keep on adding, appending. So something that like that that is how like in the range, then I will be keep on adding the elements. So this is the one way of creating the list from the scratch that we discussed in the last class. So today in this class we will be discussing what is meant by list comprehension, how can we create a list using list comprehensions. List comprehension is an elegant and concise way to create a new list from the existing list in the Python. The list comprehension consists of expression followed by a statement inside the square bracket. Like let me see one list comprehensions. Like I will show you one list comprehensions. 1 minute. So if you see here, let me go here in the code. Let me show you in the code how we can create a list comprehension. Okay. Okay. So for example, now let me take this example. So this is a list. See how should we create a list? See if you see the list. So list is will be something like this, like in the square bracket. So it is a name I am assigning. So it's like this list will be assigned to the variable name called L. So this is a list. So here I should be adding the element. You should be adding the element. It's like all the elements will be there in the square bracket, within the square bracket. So if you see here the statement, so it is having the square bracket. Now this power 2 is a name for that list. So that is how the structure is so far same. So now instead of adding the element, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to write an expression. So this is an expression which I'm trying to write here. So what is this expression says? So you can divide into two portions. This is one portion and this is another portion. What is this portion actually? This portion says 2 into what is called a 2 star star x. So 2 star star is actually like whatever the value of x, that value I will be using to powering the element to 2, means like value 2. So it's like if x is equal to 1, if x is equal to 1, I will be doing 2 to the power of 1. If x is equal to 2, then 2 to the power of 2. So means like what I'm trying to do is actually I am trying to put a value based on the x certain number of elements. Like so first time if I pass x is equal to 1, the number element what I'm trying to add into the list is 2 to the power of 1. Second time if I pass x is equal to 2, then element which I'm trying to pass is 2 to the power of 2. Means like if I keep on passing the value of x, then I'm keep on adding new element to the list. That's correct. So I'm keep on adding the new element. The first thing that like what kind of element I'm adding to the list. So I hope this is the first part of that. So any question here? Okay. The second part of it actually like how this x value you get. you see here, actually, this whole thing is expression, but the second thing, if you look at actually how you are getting the value of x. So how I am getting the value of x? So for x in what is called range. So we already saw the range function. We already know how the for works. And in range, what is the value? It is there, it is 10. So in range 10. So when I say in range 10, so means like, see here. So this is not a fully for loop. So if you see here, actually, this is not fully for loop, but this is a for loop. So actual for loop function, if you are trying to call, after that there will be colon, and there is a colon, and then the statement here, correct? So these things will be there. This is not there, and this is not there. Now, whatever you are trying to do will be put here, because I have to put that value inside the list. So okay, now think about, this is what I have looked into. So what this does, actually, range will create a value from 0 to 9, because it is excluding the number, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something up to 9. So range has creates a list of elements from 0 to 9. Now this x will take one value from this list. So it is iterable, correct? So in function, membership function, it is iterable. So x will take one value. So what happens, actually, now we saw that actually 2 star 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 x. So now what is happening is, actually, x will take a value. It can starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so up to 9. So now what happens, actually, if I give x is equal to 0, then value I'm adding into the list is 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So then 2 to the power of 1 is 2. Then 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. 2 to the power of 4 is equal to 16. Like this, I will be keep on adding element up to 2 to the power of 9. So it's like, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to add elements to the list. Okay. So this approach is called list comprehension. Anybody has any question? Anybody has any question? So how I'm creating list, you understood, using list comprehension? Okay. So now again, I will explain in other way around. So now, what is that, actually? 2 star star x. Now for I in range 10. In range 10, correct? So now this is equivalent to, it is equivalent to something like this. See, first the bracket is there, no? In the list I'm trying to create, means like I'm trying to create a something that like a empty list. So whatever the name, whatever you are saying, power is the name, what we have given here. So power is equal to, first I'm trying to create an empty list. That is fine. Now what I'm trying to create, now I'm trying to do for loop. So what is a for loop? So for I in range 10. So I in range 10 and a colon. Now what I'm trying to do, so whatever the x I'm trying to get here, so this here is x, actually. So then here also I will use the same name, so x. So what is the x? So now what I'm trying to do is, actually, the value, something that like I is a value. Assume that like this I is a new value, temporary I'm taking it, actually, or else like directly you can say that, actually, but uh, I is equal to, just for temporary sake to understand, I is equal to what is called 2 to the power of x. So now I got this a. So now this I has to be appended to this, correct? So how should I do? The power dot append. Power dot append is this is append. Assume that this append, and I am appending this. So this this statement is equivalent to this statement. So to simplify, instead of 2 statement, so I can also further simplify this. So directly I say power dot append. In that append only I will be doing 2 to the power of x, actually. So directly like 2 star 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 x, that is x. So append. So this is only one statement instead of using that. So if means like, so this for loop and this append, there is no append, because since we are already part of the x loop, so this power append is not there, and whatever is here will be here, and whatever this for loop, so excluding this will be here. This is how I'm trying to create a list comprehension. So I hope you understood. Any question? So what is a list comprehension? How I'm trying to create a list using list comprehension. Any question here? So if you see the same thing I have written. So if you see here, first is a power. So this is, see, because empty list, I have to create a list actually. This is list actually. And then this power, so append won't be there. So whatever I'm trying to put here will be here. It's like, see, append does the same thing, no? So whatever I'm trying to put value here will be added to the list. So same thing I'm directly putting here. So then whatever this for loop, excluding this colon, will be put after that. So what this for loop does actually, it gets one individual value for the x. So then based on that, I'm keep on adding it actually. This is how, this is a list comprehension in single line. So if you see here, actually, if you wanted to do the same thing, you have to do 3 lines using the for loop. Any question? Okay. So apart, this is a simple kind of list comprehension. There is one more thing. So if I have something like, if the value of x is greater than 5, then only you have to put. See, if the condition what I have is actually, instead of, I don't want like, so see what is the value actually, like power value 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 and 8. So 8 then 16 or something like that, correct? So but I don't want to create add a value which value is less than, if it is value is less than 5, or like, so value is less than 5, so I don't want it to add. So if the value is less than 5, so whatever the value, new value, assume that like x less than 5, I don't want it to add, or I wanted to add only value less than 5, that is also fine. So only I wanted to add this value, or I don't want to add this value, any kind of condition. So that kind of condition if you are trying to do, so I'm trying to put that actually, like, so what I'm trying to show. So here, instead of passing every x, actually every x, I don't want to pass every x. I just wanted to pass the x value which is greater than, if it is greater than 5, then only I'm trying to pass. So what is the, let me, you wanted to see the result, let me show the result here. This is 1, 2, 4 something, correct? So this also does the same thing, correct, that we discussed. So this also does this, because I'm not printed here, so that is what it is not printing the result. Let me print the result. So if you see that, like, both are same, correct? So now what I'm trying to do is actually, I don't want the value fx, which is if x greater than, like, less than 5. So now if you see here, actually what is the output I'm trying to create. So I'm trying to create output values which is greater than 5. So 2 to the power of 5 is equal to 32. So means like anything above 32 will be coming, because x value, what x value it will take. So value what it will take is actually x doesn't start with, even though if x starts, x gets value 0 up to 1 up to 4 and up to 5, x value, whatever the x you are getting, that value is not greater than 5. So this will be false. So since if this is false, then I'm not passing that value. If it is true, then I will passing this value. Means like I'm passing this x value to the equation. What is that equation? So 2 star star x. So what this does actually, it computes the element, and that element will be added to the list, that is appended. So that is how it's working. Any question here? So you can change, like, so here what I'm trying to do is actually the another example. If x percentage 2 means like, is it if I do x percentage 2 and if is equal to 1, means like, what is that I'm trying to do? If any element, modulus of 2 is equal to 0, means it is even number. So if modulus of 2 is I'm saying here equal, but while writing in the programming, you should be 2 equals actually. But this is mathematical equation, only one equation. So if I say equal to 0 means like it's even number. If equal to 1 means it is odd number. So it is odd number. So what I'm looking is actually, I'm looking for odd number. So I'm trying to add the element which is almost like I'm trying to say that, like, you just select the element of x which is odd number. So if you see the output, what you get is actually odd number. But if I change this to 0, If I change it to 0, it will get the value which is even number. So any question here? Okay. So what we are trying to do is not only for the number, we can also do for the strings also. This is another equations where we are trying to do strings. So another difference here, like, so here we have for loop. So we have one for loop and we have another for loop. So what is that means actually? This is the inner, this is outer for loop. So what we are trying to get actually, and then one is the inner for loop. So if you see that actually how I'm trying to get into, so what I'm trying to get into, so based on that, like, so if then I am trying to print. So if you see here, for one for loop, what I'm trying to get is actually value of x. For one for loop, I'm trying to get a value of y. So when I got x value and when I got y value, what I'm trying to do is x plus y. So it's like this is I'm trying to get x value. Here I'm trying to get y value. If you wanted to make a for loop which is outer and inner, so whatever the value you are trying to get here has to be here actually. So it's like, see, this is outer and this you will be within that you will be working here. But in this case, like, so what I'm trying to do is actually this is one for loop and this is one for loop, and this for loop will be looping and getting the value for a y. This for loop will be looping and getting the y for x. So when I got x value, when I got y value, then I'm trying to do what actually I'm trying to do something this. So how it is actually, see now the thing is how it looks like actually this for x something that statement, and then for this is not inner and outer, so for something. So now I got this, so where I got this x, I got this y, so within that, no, so I should be getting, so I got x here and then I should be getting y. So then when I got x and y, then I should be doing x plus y. So if I make this is outside this loop, then I won't be having that x value. So x value will be within this for loop. So how should I write it actually? For x, the loop, and now I got the x value. So within this for loop, I should be saying that like y. So then I got here. So x is still available here. So in this case, like x is also there, y is also there. Now I'm trying to do actually what I'm trying to do, x plus y, and this x plus y I'm trying to have to append. I have to append to the list. So first, what is the list I'm trying to create here? So I have to append here, because if I come out of this while loop, if I come out of this while loop outside this for loop, so for example, if I say for loop x, and if I am outside this for loop, this value x won't be, I won't be having this, because the scope of this x value is within this for loop block. The scope of this x is within the for loop like. So now, so if I say this whole block belongs to x, then within that, if I do for loop of where I get a y value, then within the this block, whatever the block you are trying, the y value will be there. So I should be appending within this inner for loop. But actually, there is no connection between this and this, but the scope, because of the scope I am trying to I have to have actually. So either this way, either other way around, like, so even if we make for up actually, and then for x is inner, but still like I should be doing so whatever the inner. But the thing is like, so because x and y value should be still holding, so this is how we will be writing without what is called list comprehension. This is how we'll be writing the list comprehension. But with the list comprehensions, like, so you are just taking, this will return x value, this will return y value, and I'm trying to add, and I'm trying to add to the list. Any question here? So what happens actually, like I get x, first x gets Python, then x gets C. So when I get x actually, x language, so x Python and language, then x Python and programming, then C Python, C language, and C programming. So this is because I have to get this value and then I have to do that. So that is how, so that way. So this is one for loop and this is inside, because I should have the scope for this. Any question here? So this is a little bit like a simpler, like if you don't able to understand this actually, you can try to write into the simpler way of your own writing. So how should we write? So since like I should have that list actually, like a list, I create a list here. So it should be empty list, because that is how we have to create. No? So then first empty list, then I should be writing for X in. So then I should be writing this one actually. I should be taking this value. So I should be taking this value, then the colon, then so now X is available. So this whole X blocks, then I will be doing this for loop. So now I'm trying to do this for loop. So now what happens? This is a for loop. So now I will be getting this. So within the bracket, what I should be doing? LST append, LST append X plus Y. So X plus X plus Y. So what is this? X is string, Y is also string. Then plus, when I say plus X plus Y, this is string concatenation. So string concatenation. So then I am trying to appending. So when after coming out of that, I'm trying to print LST. So if I do that, actually, it will be same as the way I'm trying to do here. So this is I'm trying to do in one single statement. This is called list comprehension. This is I'm trying to do with the traditional way of list creation using for loops. Any question here? Any question? Anybody is not understood this and this? Okay. So you can have a lot more things like for kind of combination, for if else, lot of things are kind of list comprehensions are possible. You can try out those things. So this is pretty easy to do. See, if till you are not comfortable with list comprehension, you should try. So whatever this way, first you should try to write like this, then you should try to convert into list comprehension. So whatever this append is comes, because I'm adding to list, so that has to come here. This is indicates actually I'm adding to list. So then this will come. So how this will come? So where it will come? So this is the first thing, and this is the second thing. So you just copy that and then put it. Actually, if there is a if then else statement, you can be. So if you wanted to convert this one, it will be same thing. So if you wanted to convert something, so it will be odd, then colon, then so it is something that like a for range. So it will be for range. Then what is that condition? If it is equal to 1, if it is equal to 1, so then again the condition. So if it is equal to 1, then only I'm trying to do odd dot append. What is that I'm trying to append? I'm trying to append X. So this is a for loop, and then I'm trying to print out. So this is similar to that. So first you should try writing something similar to that actually. Then you should start adding, because this is also same, because I'm not executed. So both will be same result. So so you try writing like this, and then you try converting here. But when you are comfortable with this, then you should not start directly. You can write here. So any question in the list comprehension? Anybody is not understood list comprehension? Okay. So fine. So with this, the list thing is done. So with this, the list things is done. So we'll skip to the next collection element that is called set. So set is another collection element. So what all thing we discussed list and we discussed string. So next what we are discussing is set. Set is of a sequence type and it is a mutable. So correct. So set is of sequence type and it is a mutable. So we'll see that like what is a set and how we can create. So you maybe already know what is a set in the mathematics, correct? So you, if this is something similar to mathematical set actually. So and it also uses the same thing, same notion, the way the mathematical set does actually in the flower bracket. So and when we say set actually in mathematics thing, so when we say set, yes, this if I write something like this, or if I write 2 3 1, both set are similar, correct? So when you check it, actually both set are similar, because sets are in mathematical also it is unordered. Unordered means like, see, it only check actually, see what is set actually. This set has 3 elements, and which are those elements. This set also has a 3 elements, which are those are elements. So that is, if all elements are same, then this both sets are same. but this is not sequenced, means like ordered. When I say ordered, means like the position of 2 here and the position of 2 is different, but that doesn't matter for set. So in mathematically also it doesn't matter the order. Here also it doesn't matter the order, the way whatever we wanted to write. And another characteristics of the mathematics set. Now, so when I say set, actually set is what kind of elements it is representing. So for example, set A having all even number, or means like there is no scope for duplicate. So usually there is no scope for it, because if if that element is there or not, actually like this set, the set consists of all even number. So if and when I say set consists of all even number, there should not be any duplicate, correct? So that is what you the mathematical thing. So same thing here also, like set doesn't have a duplicate. Like what are the things you can note? This is unordered collection, because unordered means like we don't have the position, like elements, there will be multiple elements. Collection means like multiple elements, but they don't have an order. So it can be anything. So first, once if you try to print the set, actually, like for example, if I created set is equal to yes, name of the set, actually I have created something like 2 3 something, and if I print once, I will get value 1 2 3. Next time if you print the same set, I may get something that like something like this. If I print again, then I may get something that like through 1 and 3. So it is unordered. So that is the reason, like, so this there is no order in that, actually. But number of elements and the which elements that represents the set, actually, that is one thing. The second thing is actually every element is unique and must be immutable. So okay, first we look into unique, means like it doesn't allow you duplicate elements. So even if you define something like that, actually again, so when you print it, actually like if you check, then you will get only this. So unique only it will consider the unique element. That is one thing. And the second thing, second point, what I'm trying to say here is actually immutable. So means like set is mutable. So you see there is a confusion. So if you see here, actually when I say set is mutable means like I can add and delete elements from the set. So when I say set, this is set, actually, and this set has 1 2 3 and 4 or 1 5. So something that like, now if this set is mutable, means like I can add one more element. So in this case, like 2 is missing, so I'm adding this here, actually. So it is mutable, but I can't change, means like if see each individual element is immutable. This are all something that, no, this number I cannot change. So this element I can add element, I can remove element, but I cannot change the element. So elements are immutable, but set is mutable. So this is one thing which is like a little bit like a difficult to digest, but this is how the characteristics of the set. So elements are immutable, but set is mutable. So I hope you understood that elements are immutable, so set is mutable. So another thing, since like these are all sets are mathematical kind of equation, the concept. So all the mathematical equations you can work on. What all the mathematical equation? Set means like, so when I say set, actually, so set union of set is possible. So set, this is set 1 and this is set 2. So union of these two sets is possible. Intersection, we'll discuss one by one. So all those mathematical operations are possible. So any question, anybody is not understood? Okay, so first thing we'll look into actually how to create a set. So how to create a set, actually there are multiple ways of creating a set. We'll create a simple set. So let me go here. So what I'm trying to create, actually I'm trying to create a set. So set of integer. So I'm trying to create a set of integer. And in this case, if you see here, actually I'm trying to create a set of mixed data type. What is that? This is a float. The first one is a float, second one is a string, and third one is another tuple, actually. So this is of different data types. So that is also possible. So I can create integer, I can create, okay, I can create even float also, like not only just integer. Like let me do string. Let me do. So I can create. So you can create. So you can do even float also. It's like any same type, any same type value, or heterogeneous or mixed kind of data types you can create. So creation is actually, so it will have a flower bracket. Within the flower bracket you should write the elements. Same thing what we used to do for the list also. Like see string, if you have to create s is equal to, then in the course we should be giving list you have to create, this is how, then I will be creating the starting bracket, then I have to add element here. So set is actually, so something is a flower bracket, and then I'm trying to add elements here. So I should be creating the set. Any question? Any question on the creation set? Okay, so we'll see, this is the ways we can create the set. So I said no, so if I have a duplicate elements, like let me show that, like is 1 2 3 4 this, you know, so we have a duplication for 3, we have a duplication for 2. When you print it, actually see here, actually 1 2 3 4, so that is how it is, it takes, actually it doesn't take duplicate elements. So fine. And we can also create a set from using something like a list. See, if you see here, actually what I'm trying to pass is actually a list. So this is a list. From this list, I'm trying to create a set using the keyword set. So this is possible for everything. So for typecasting list, there is a list list is there. For anything data you should be typecasting as a set, then the set is there, something like that. Like, so this is explicit typecasting or creating. So when we say typecasting using int and float, we say that like explicit typecasting for int and float, something. So same way we can, whatever the input is a list or something, that like I can, using the list I can convert into a list data type. Using set keyword, whatever this list keyword data type is, value is, I can convert into a set data type. So that is another way of creating a data set. So any question on the same data type, or heterogeneous or a duplicate, not you should not have duplicate, and you should not. So if you, another thing I said no, so when you keep on typing it, actually you may get different, or you may get same thing. So that is all, because we don't have an order there, and that is the one thing. The another one important thing is, like, since I said elements are immutable, so when I say elements are immutable, so this one integer, so integers are immutable, that we already know, but list is mutable. So list is mutable, so means like I can't have individual element and a list there, so as a part of a set, because list is mutable element. Like, so see what we discussed, see if you see here, actually, so list is mutable, means like set cannot have a list. So if set is having a list, actually, then list is mutable, means like set elements are becomes mutable. So what is that, what I'm trying to say here is, actually, see, set have a list of elements. So this list of elements maybe of integer, it can have integer, or it can have float, it can have also string. So it can have those, all those things like float, string, and all those things which are immutable kind of values, or hybrid combination of that. But it cannot have something like list which is mutable. So it cannot have in between, there is one element as a list, but that is possible in list of list is possible, but that is not possible in set. I hope you understood that. So that is not possible here. Any question here? Any question on the set, and why we can't have this list in the set? Okay. Then one more typical thing about the set is, no, so I said you can create empty, correct? Like, so when we see, I showed in previous example also, create a list, empty list. So how to create an empty list? This is how I can create empty list. So similarly, you would have said, actually I can create empty set, but the difficult point is, actually, like, set and dictionary takes the same notion. Like, so dictionary also will be within the flower brackets. So that is how, when we say empty list, when we create empty list, actually, so that, and after that, if you type the type, so the what is called, actually, the interpreter or the compiler doesn't understand where are you creating a empty list or empty dictionary, because both uses the flower brackets. So by default, it will consider that it is you are creating a dictionary. So when you say creating a empty using flower bracket, it, because flower bracket is used for both set and dictionary, so it by default it assumes that you are creating a dictionary. So that is the reason when you type a type of that whatever the variable, then it would have showed you the dictionary. We'll cover dictionary later on in next tomorrow's class. But that is, but if you wanted to create an empty empty set, actually, this is how you should be creating. So you should be creating set something, and then that set doesn't have any value, so that will become an empty set actually. So empty set actually, like I'm trying to create a set in the bracket, I don't have anything. So usually, like I said, typecasting, correct? So how should I typecast the set? So set, and within the bracket, I should be giving that value. But to create an empty, nothing will be there in that. So it's like this will create an empty set actually. This is the one thing usually, like to check whether you understood the set properly. Like this is a typical kind, like these kind of thing questions are very typical. So this question is a typical question they can ask you to check. This is another typical, whether you understood, whether you understand that like set elements are mutable or immutable. So this is another typical the question they may ask you. And this is another typical question they would ask. It's like there will be some of the typical question they can ask you to check your understandability of sets actually, because some typical question, because where if you know in depth, then only you can answer these questions. Any question here? Creating an empty list, and why can't we create empty list, and how to create empty list?
Sir, can you explain it again?
Which one?
Sir, create an empty list.
Okay. Let me first you answer me that like how to create a empty list, not set. I How should I create empty list? So this is how you should create empty list, correct? Correct. If I have to create a empty string, this is how I should create an empty string, correct? So similarly, because why this I'm using, this is a symbol, this is the notion I will be using for creating a list. So same thing like, but for set uses the flower bracket. uh, you may say that like I can use the same thing to create an empty list, but the flower brackets also used for dictionary. Dictionary also uses the flower brackets. Now, if I create something like this, so interpreter doesn't know whether it is a set or a dictionary, correct? Because if both are using same, as both are using the same brackets, so I don't know whether, because within that, what is that actually? It's a set or dictionary, correct? So then it will be confused. So what is that actually? Like if we create something like this is assumed as a dictionary. This will assume as a dictionary, and it will create a dictionary, empty dictionary. But then how should I create a empty set? So now there is, I said no, set you can use to convert any element. So for example, if I said in the earlier example, the way of creating a set is actually create any list. Actually, I have created this list, and this list I am trying to convert into set. So then I will be using typecasting that, and then I'm trying to convert this. So something similar to this I'm trying to convert this list into something called a list to set. So same thing, I'm using the same kind of concept I'm using. Since I'm trying to create an empty, nothing will be there, because if nothing is there, then only the next empty set will be created, correct? See, if something is there, then it will create, it will convert whatever the value is there within that, that will be converted into that set. But that set has some elements. But if I don't have to create, I have to create an empty list, means like you should not have anything. You should not have anything, then only it will create an empty set. Is it understood or still not understood? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So any questions? Any questions on because you see why I'm why I'm stressing this? No, usually they will ask this typical kind of questions, like whether you know, understand it or not. How to create a empty list? Usually, like usually the people will say set takes a flower bracket, then just create a flower bracket. Then they wanted to check their knowledge. So that is the reason I'm stressing. So empty list is one. Whether we can have a list within a set, that is another one, because they wanted to check whether elements will be immutable. So set is a list is a immutable, so you can't have that actually. Those are some of the typical question they'll ask to check your knowledge in Python. So any other question? Okay, The next thing what we look into, say, like all other things, every after every collection. So we also say that no, in the difference between the other programming language here, programming language actually, these all considered as an object, and since all these collection data types, no, these are predefined data types, consider an object, and since they are object, there are also several methods are there. Here also there are several methods are there. What all those methods are there, that we will discuss. So one of the method is actually something called update or add actually. So what is that update and add, we'll look into. So before that, something I missed here. No. Anything I missed here. Creating dictionary. Okay. So if you have to add an element, so there is a function called add. So you can add an element to that one, and there is one more function called update. So there is a two. So there is a one more function called update. So you can add an element to the set. So if, for example, if you have created a set, so assume that like you have created a set called S. So then this set has something like 1, 2, 3, and 5. So if I have to add another element, because I said set is mutable, but elements are not mutable. So I can add here. So how should I add? Since all these elements are called as objects, so object method I should be using. One object method is called add. So using add, I can add the element. So the way I have showed here, actually, you can call add and enter the element. That element will be added here. That element will be added here. If you wanted to see actually, so we'll show here. Like, so this is the one set I have created, my set 1 and 3. I'm trying to add element 2. So after that, like, so you wanted to see what is the value. So initially value will be 1, 3. Then I have added an element 3. Where is that actually? Okay, I have added element 3. Sorry, I have added element 2. So 1, 3 was there, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the another approach is actually I can use update. So what is the difference between this and this? Actually, I can give multiple elements. I can give a multiple elements, and I am trying to when I say multiple elements, how should I add actually? Like, so I cannot give a multiple elements within the bracket. Like, so for example, if I say set whatever that, like if S, then if I say update, this is method. When I say it is a method, then it should be within the bracket. Any method or any function should be within the bracket, correct? So what is the notion for method or function? So name of that, and the within the function arguments we should be passing, correct? So since this method is on the set, so this is set actually on the dot, means like I'm applying this actually. Like if you already know the object and class and how to call the class methods or something, it is something similar to this is a instance for the class, and then you are using like this, you have created a instance for class, and within that you are calling the function method called update. So it is same notion, you can say, because every variable or data types, everything will be considered as object. So object instance you have created, and that you are applying method. So once you are applying method, means like it will start with the starting bracket and closing bracket. Within that you are trying to give. So here I can give one value. If I had to give 2 value, 3 value, then I should be putting in a list actually. Like, so in a list means like it can collect multiple, like so individual value, or a collection. So collection, either you can give something that like a list here, or what you can do is actually yes, update and assume that like I would have given something like a letter variable. So that variable is of list. So this is also multiple elements here. So this is a way we can supply the multiple elements. Even you can supply the multiple elements, and then it will be added. So when you when you see here actually, when if you updated and if you added the element, the how it is updating. So if you see initially, like say what after adding actually 1, 2, 3 is there, 1, 2, 3 are there. What I'm trying to add actually, I'm trying to add 2, 3, and 4. So see 1, 2, 3 is already there. So 2 is already there, 3 is already there. So only thing which is extra is actually 4. So it adds only 4. So because that we also discussed actually, set doesn't allow duplicate elements. So even though there is a 3 elements are there, but only effectively only one new elements are there. Only new one element will be added. So, and if you see the other thing, so update, what I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to do supply one list and one tuple. So if you see here, one list I'm trying to pass and one tuple I'm trying to pass. But what was the earlier elements? 1, 2, 3, 4 were there. In that 4 I'm trying to do, but that doesn't make any sense because 4 is already there. The 5 is new one, so I have added 5. Then 1 is already there, so no point in adding that. 6 is new one, I added 6, and 8 is new one, I added 8. So this is how it is there. But like, see, the thing is like, if you would have seen another thing in the list, there is a extend and there is a update. So that update is, if you say, whatever the individual element will be added here. But in this case, what we said in the set, actually set elements cannot be mutable. So if it directly adds a list there, then a list is a mutable. So set, if directly adding set, actually set is also mutable, that cannot add. You cannot add list. So what it does, actually individual elements will be added. So that is another difference you should be remembering. These are some of the typical things you should know, like, because uh, if directly you would have said this is one element and this is another element, why can't it adds another? Because this is list you cannot add to the set. So this is another set is immutable. So, and you cannot add another element which is immutable, because set elements are immutable. So the individual elements are added. This is how you should remember actually how this update function works. Any question here? Any question? Because you can add and remove element because it is immutable. So any question here? Okay. So next thing is actually like removing the element. So removing the element is, so there are one function called discard. So it will this in, and there is one more function called a remove. So you can, using the remove, you can do, you can discard, you can do. So the difference between discard and the remove is actually if it ignores, if doesn't exist. So it doesn't give an error actually. Discard means like just discards. But if you say remove, and if you are trying to again trying to remove or something, that actually it will give an error. So that is the only difference actually, because once if you remove, then again you are trying. Discard is actually if that element doesn't exist, so or trying to remove, but still it doesn't give an error. That is the only difference between set and discard and remove. So okay, so any other question? So element adding is done. Upset, okay. The update is also discussed, and the copy function is like it is there everywhere. It is there in list, it is there in string, it is there here also. Copy function is just copying it actually. There are set of, if you wanted to know what all the functions are supported by list actually, sorry, set. So you can say what is the my set is my set. You can say my directory. This is one way of looking up what all the functions supported, methods supported by set actually. See what all the methods are there here. Add is one, clear is one, copy is one, difference update. These are all set function. Difference, intersection, is disjoint, is subset, superset. These are all union and union, symmetric, difference. These are all set related functions actually. The other than set related functions are add, we discussed actually, and update we discussed, and clear is a clearing, copy is a copying, and remove and pop. So all this we discard. So discard we discussed, remove, pop is also remove, correct? So pop is like you can give the position also. So these are all removing the element, and this is add and update is adding. So clear is clear, copy is copy, and this all is a set. We'll discuss that actually. These other things. These are the functions supported by the supported. Means like these are the fun methods we can apply on the set. So if you don't want to check that way, the other way is also my set, and dot. If you do, so it will get, you will get all the list of functions. So this is much more easier, because if you do this one, then you will get it, the syntax. See, this is syntax and the different what is it does actually. And if you wanted to know that, like what is the pop, so you can do something like this. So you will get the information about like remove and return arbitrary elements from. So it's like this gives some kind of explanation. So this is better way to understand. So this just gives the list of elements. So it is up to you how you wanted to get reference. If still you don't want, you wanted to know more about that, you can use that question mark and all those things. Like you can use that to get the help about those things. So Any question here? Also update copy. So removing the element, okay, discard. And membership test is same thing. So everywhere membership function is what are the membership that we discussed in operators, correct? So Sangesh has covered actually, like, so in function or not in function. So whether that, so whatever you are like, this side is the element we are looking, this side is the list or iterable something. So whether this element exists here or doesn't exist here, that is what you are checking in the membership function. So the same thing is possible here also. And membership testing, that's fine. So these are the set, what do you call set function is subset. So what is a subset? So you already know what is a subset function in mathematics, correct? So for example, this is S is a set, it has element 1, 2, 3 and 4. What are the subsets of this? Empty is one subset, this is one subset. So individual can also have one subset. So individually can also one subset, or combination also one, two, like, or so many combination subset possible, no? So these are all subset of this actually. How should we know that, like, whether this is subset or not? There's a function. So anything we start with is returns is a logical kind of function, is subset. So when I say subset, so where I'm trying to give, so this is unset I'm trying to give. See, if you see here actually, I'm trying to give one set here. So one set what I'm trying to here, and I'm applying on this set. This is S dot. So this is S is one set, and I'm asking is subset. This is one I'm trying to pass. If it is, this is a subset of this, then it will say true. If it doesn't subset of true, then it is not true. So what is that X actually, like whatever the base actually if you are created in that, if these elements are there, then it will be subset of that, like that is one. All these is functions are like that only. And apart from that, you can also use some kind of equal to, less than, or equal to. These are all functions are supported. So what is that actually? This is one set, and this is equal or less or equal. So 4, 5, 7 and 9 is there. 4, 5, 7. So means like if this is a subset of this, then it is always equal or less. So if it is a superset of this, actually this is always greater than or equal, because that is how the equation is now. So if, for example, if it is a set, this is a set, and this set has multiple superset subset actually. So means like this S1 is always less than or equal to S, correct? So because it should have all element of this set, then only it will call a subset, or it should have lesser element of this set actually, then only it will call subset. So subset will be always less than or equal to the set, or superset is actually is always greater than or equal to the subset. So this is two also means the same thing. So these two whatever we are trying to discuss here. So this also means either you can do this way, either you can use is a subset or is superset. So either you can use this function, either you can use these operators to check whether which one is superset, which is subset, and all those things. So any question, if you wanted to check equal, that you can use. So any question on a membership function, how to check the membership in the set, and any questions on these subset, superset, and how to use those methods or use those logical operators. So any question? Okay. Okay. Iteration over, how to do iteration over the set. So same thing, correct? So iteration over how to do the iteration over list is same way, correct? So for n in S. So this is the iteration. So whatever the, whether it is a list or whether it is a set, so this is set also has multiple elements, correct? What is the iteration means? Any kind of object which has multiple elements, and I can pick one by one. So set also has multiple elements, that is a collection, correct? Set also collection, list also collection. Sorry, this is list, and set also is a collection. So these are all iterables because they also have collection of multiple elements, and you can get one by one, correct? So you can iterate the same way. So only the function is same. So there is a for in this is any user defined in S. And then you can, this is how you can iterate. So there is no, okay. Any question? Okay. So far we understood a little bit about the functions, what we can apply, means like what kind of inbuilt functions are there in the set, and some of the membership and superset we discussed. So what kind of functions, like what kind of programs we can write using the set actually. Some of the one of the common function is actually they will ask you to write, find out is there any duplicate elements in the string. So for example, if the question is actually, this is a string, if somebody has given a string, to find out is any duplicate elements are there, characters are there or not, or unique, and find out which are the duplicate characters, or find out which are the unique characters in this actually in the string. So then how should we do? Like you can do manually one by one. Like one way is actually like this is a string, assume that like this is a string, then you have to convert into list, and then you have to take one element, like one element, and have to check whether that element is there in other location. If it is not there, then it is put into unique list, and if it is there, that is put into the duplicate list. This is a duplicate list. So this is one element, and then you have to loop for entire list, something that like. The better and smarter other way is actually using the list. So using the, sorry, set, using the set you can do that. So for example, this is a data, like since like it is a bigger what is called a string. So like Pragyan AI is a pioneer in data science and AI, conducts 3-year 4-year or 2-year data science program for engineers, students of all branches, and BCA students, BSc so with 100% placements, pay 20% now and 80% fee after getting the job. So this is too big statement, correct? This is too big statement. And if you are trying to do something like this, so what is the way? Actually, like you are converting list and you are taking first element and checking with whether that exists in this. So if it is a small, like only 4 character, so 4 letter, like so A is 1, B is 1, and C D, and again A. So it is easy because I will first check A, and then whether it exists here or here. Okay, it is there. So it is very easy. But something like this, actually this statement is like what I have taken is too big one. So it is full, like, so Pragyan is that, so it's too big one. So then doing that is too complex. So you can do pretty easy using the set. How should I do that? Actually, this is I should convert this. So I said, so any this element, even if it is a string, I can typecast into set using the keyword called set. Like, so this explicit typecasting is like, this is one way of creating the set. So what happens actually when I create this string into set, if there is no duplicate, every character will become one element. But if there is a duplicate, then automatically, because set doesn't take a duplicate element, correct? So for example, string is something like this, like, so something like A, B, C, D is a string. So if I create a set, so this is a set for this actually, if I create a set for this, I'll be having 4 characters actually, A, B, 4 elements, so C and D. So I will be having, so this is how the set will be there. But if I have another, like, so another B, another A, another C, so then also still I will be having only this, because the duplicate won't be considered. So same thing here. So even though this big statement is there, so if you convert into a set actually, then automatically this whatever you will be having here, this is also set actually, this is set actually. So this set is of unique letters or characters from this one. So if you type here, like actually like only unique will be there. So there is O, and there is S, and there is a C or something. And if you see the number of characters is only 42. So if you see the original number of characters is 266. So 266 characters, in that like unique characters are only 42. And this is only one line of code. So what I have done actually, I have just converted into string. Sorry, so I have converted it as a set, actually typecasted as set. And then I'm just checking the length of that set actually, and I'm typing that. So it is pretty easy. But other thing is actually the other portion, other part is actually remove the unique values and keep the duplicate. If you wanted to remove the unique values and keep the duplicate thing. So how should I do that actually? So then again, so what I'm trying to do is actually this string I'm trying to convert into a data is the list. So list can, in list we can have duplicate elements also, so elements also, so that is possible. Now what I'm trying to do, if whatever the element, like so in the unique, so I'm trying to find out which are the unique, so these are the unique. So I'm iterating over the unique. If I'm getting one on the element which is unique, which is part of this unique set actually, because this is a set iteration, so I'm trying to do. And if I got it actually, whatever element, that element I'm trying to remove from the data. So data is the list. So from that list, I'm trying to remove that element using the remove function. Now what I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to remove the duplicate, like so I'm trying to remove the unique elements from the list I'm trying to remove. So means like whatever the elements are there, that elements will be repetitive elements. Means like, so I can't have something that like a r unless until there is another r is there. So because if it is only one, then that becomes unique and I'm removing all unique. That is what I'm trying to do. So then and see, if you see here actually one statement only. Now if you see here actually like how many elements are there, so this I have done. So it has not 224. So 224 plus 42, these are unique. So you will get it actually 266. So other way, like you just wanted removing in the string, you can do that also. See, if you wanted to remove those things and if you wanted to convert it back, so if you wanted to remove that into the list and then you wanted to convert back into the what is called string, so how should we do? So this whatever the data is there, this data I will be again converting back into a string. How should we convert? We can also convert back into the string. So again typecast as a string. So any question here? Anybody's? So see, just using the set, removing the duplicate elements is pretty easy. So this is one of oftenly used. So in the string operations, like they will use this converting into set and converting back into the strings just to remove the duplicate elements. So any question here? So any question on iteration and then application? Okay. Okay, so next thing, this is the last thing I will be covering, and then I will be ending the set actually. So some of the operations, mathematical operations, union, I said, no? So you know, union of sets, correct? This is a Venn diagram. So union of that means like which is unique in A and which is unique in B. So that is what we will be taking. I don't want to take a duplicate elements. So when I say set A and B, when I say set A union B, if I say set union B, so I will be having all elements which is belongs to A, and then I will be having all elements which is unique to B, which is not there in A. Because if it is already there in A, then there is no point, because it only takes this it takes only one times. It doesn't take, because duplicate will be removed automatically. So union is that function. So and intersection is actually I'm only interested in which is common element. So union is actually like that. The intersection is I'm only interested in the common element. The difference is actually like if I'm trying to take a difference, so A difference B, so what is that actually? Like if I say A difference B, means like I just wanted to remove the elements, whatever the elements, like so for example, so if I say A is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6, so this is element, and B is a odd number. Assume that like is a odd set actually, 1 3 5. So now if I say A minus B, if I say A minus B means like I wanted the elements of A which is not there in B. So means like, so now this is there, so this element is there, so I can't consider, because the difference means like this has to, I have to remove from that. So this is also there, I can't use that. So this is also there, that I can't take. So what is left out is 2 4 and 6. So that is how the difference is there. So difference is means like I'm trying to remove all the elements of B if nothing is there in the elements of B is not there in, if they are called disjoint. If it is a disjoint means like something like this. So in this case, instead of 1 2 3 4, if the elements is 7 9 and 11, so this 7 9 and 11 is not there, so this both are disjoint, means like I cannot remove anything. If it is there, then only like elements of B there in the set A, then only those element I am discarding. If none of the elements in B exist in A, then I will just using the A, so the result will be A. So that is called a difference. So if you see the diagram here, so that is what it is saying, the difference. And symmetric difference, see there is a union, I said, combination, intersection I said, difference is by comma. So operator what is used is the or is for union, and is intersection, difference it is minus, and symmetric difference is cap actually. So what is that symmetric difference? Symmetric difference is actually like it is opposite of intersection, means like in intersection I'm only looking for the common thing. In symmetric difference actually this common things is removed. So if elements which are there in both set will be discarded, remaining will be taken. So the union and see, if you say the union and the symmetry, what is the difference between this union and symmetry? Is actually this union minus intersection is a symmetry difference. See, the union minus this symmetry, what's for intersection is a symmetric difference. So because union, this value will be there one time, but it won't be having two times. Like which are the common element will be considered only one time, not for two times. But intersection, only common elements will be there. In the symmetry difference, I'm excluding only common elements, rest all will be there. So I hope you understood this relationship. So what is the relationship? What I'm trying to say here actually, union minus intersection is equal to symmetric difference. Okay. What is the other equations I'm trying to K here? So okay. What is the other equation we can give? So okay, so other equation what we can get is actually this is a symmetry. So this minus, so if I say this minus this, so if I do symmetry difference minus the difference, if I do this minus this, actually what you will get it, you will get null thing, no? So because everything will be there. So some of the combinations we can look into. Any other questions here? Anybody is not understood union, intersection, difference, and symmetry difference? Okay, we'll try some of the examples. Okay, so let me show some examples. Like so now, set A is a set of element 1 2 3 4 5. B is a set 4 5 7 6. Now I wanted to do union. So union operator is this R bar actually. So I am trying to do, means like what is I'm trying to do. So even though 5 is here and here, but I will be considering only 1 5 because duplicate I want only once I will be considering. So and what is the other thing? The 4 is here and there, but I'm just considering only once. So if you see the number of elements, like so usually like one thing you should know actually, like when I do union of two elements, so two set union of A and B. So this size, so the size of A, the length of A, assume that like it is a 4 and length of B is as a 4. So union length is always equal to or less than the individual length. So length of A union B will be always less than or equal to length of A plus length of B. When it is equal, because if there are disjoint, then they are equal. If there is no disjoint, there is a common element, means always it will be less. So that is what I'm trying to show here. So here like 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 5 is 10, but if you see here actually only 8, because 4 and 5 are duplicate. So it's like this 4 and 5 are like there in set A and set B. So I'm only considering once. That is a union. So any question on the union? Okay. The next thing is So I can using this way, or I can use the function union. So I'm trying to do union. So both are same. So if I do A union B or B union in, both are same. So intersection, same thing. I'm using and. So then only common element will be there. So or I can say intersection here B or B intersection A. So both are same. So now difference. The difference is different actually. A minus B is different and B minus A is different. So this is A minus B, means like which are the elements which are common here. I will remain 1, 2, 3 will be there. So B minus A is something different. So the both will be different. Symmetric difference is cap. So symmetric difference we already know what is the symmetric difference. So these are the things we can do. So it's a pretty easy to know. So I think it is already we are up with 7:45. Okay. So any other question? So we'll stop here. We'll stop. I think we covered most of the things like union we covered, set operations we covered, intersection, symmetry difference, multiple sets. Okay. So frozen data sets like and tuple will cover in next session. So any question here so far? Anybody is not understood union, intersection, difference, symmetric difference? Okay. Okay, so now it is time for quiz. Sangmesh, are you there? Sangmesh?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you start the quiz.
quiz.
I'm-
Shall I start sets or list?
You set only you start. List only list compression are covered. So set quiz you start.
Okay, set.
Yeah, fine. I'm unsharing it actually. You can share the screen.
Okay. Now you can join.